The all-new Honda Accord is here. Ocean Honda of Port Richey has given us the 2023 Honda Accord EX. This is the carryover 1.5 turbo in platinum white pearl over black interior. Through this series, I will be comparing it to the hybrid, to the Camry, and different trims, so that way you could really see and tailor your Honda Accord if you're looking to order it, or if you just want to see what it's all about. It starts off with a fastback design. What that means is it's going to have a slope roof line coming into the front, standard LED headlamps, daytime runnings. The matte black on the lower with 5.3 inches of clearance. The new grille, it's an active shutter. We get the gloss black treatment and it pushes out the bumpers, and the headlamp assembly are more sleek and pushed back, a wider track by 6 inches. Honda has decided to keep the longer hood with a few lines that give a little bit of that sport cue. Again, trying to get that European design. The fenders bulge out a little bit. Because this is the EX, we get the 17-inch. Pewter painted alloy wheels. If it was the base LX, it would be silver painted alloy wheels. When you get to the hybrid trim, that's going to change the size and also different color combos. The brakes are going to be smaller than the prior gen, almost an inch in the front. It's the same brakes in the rear. A retuned McPherson strut front suspension and a multi-link rear suspension. It's going to be a little bit more of a rigid drive, but more smoother than the prior gen. The 11th gen takes the chrome that's going to surround the top of the windows, and it just makes a little bit of a boomerang that goes into the gloss black. The EX and the LX will receive the same color door handles, shark fin antenna, and side view mirror caps as the body. If you go into the Sport, you will get gloss black for the lower skirt and for that shark fin antenna. You'll also receive a gloss black deck lid, spoiler, and if you get to the Sport Hybrid, we receive a diffuser. The setup here is going to be more of that luxury, kind of grown up. I think Honda has taken itself to a different level with vehicles, whereas Toyota, when you get a TRD, they're going to lower the suspension by 0.6 inches. You get over 300 horsepower. Here, we've lost horsepower if you go into the hybrid trim. The fastback design keeps the same curb weight as the prior gen at 3,280 pounds. 192 horsepower with 192 pound-feet of torque. The motivation isn't going to be the fastest, but at least they didn't add weight to it. They did add an aluminum hood, so every trim will get that. On the lower here, it's going to be all in the matte black. Dual exhausts are going to be tucked underneath with the reflectors that's going to come up into your new LED headlamps. I like the setup here because it really looks more European design, and I think Honda is going in the right direction, and they give a little retro style with the smaller Honda badging in the center, and the lights pretty much seamlessly run into it. Cargo is going to have a quick release, same storage as the prior gen at 16.7 cubic feet. We have all-weather mats with the Honda badging. Underneath, you'll have your jack and a spare tire. Split fold the rear bench in the back at a 60-40 split, increasing the cargo, which it's going to be about 1.1 cubic feet more storage than the Toyota Camry. This is the carryover turbocharged. Let's start it up so you can hear that exhaust note. Going inside the all-new Honda Accord, you're getting 2 inches more than the prior gen of Headroom at 39.5 inches. Leg space at 42.3 inches, so it's maybe 0.1 to 0.2. Not a huge deal, but the interior is. Standard 10-way power seat adjustment for the driver. 4-way manual adjustment for the passenger. New pattern design. The same piano black is going to go on the top part of the dash. The mesh covers for the air vents, which goes across the whole width of the dashboard. Modern design, 10.2 digital gauge cluster that is customizable, 3-spoke steering wheel, multi-function with adaptive cruise control, lane keep assist. The stocks are going to be all in the matte black. 7-inch touchscreen, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, AM, FM. Only the hybrids will get the 12.3 touchscreen with Alexa built in, streaming Bluetooth audio and Bluetooth connectivity. Put it into reverse. We have a reverse camera with trajectory that expands out when you turn the steering wheel, and you have, just like last year, the same 3 different camera settings on the base trim or the EX trim. Dual climate control settings, 2 USBs with a large storage area here. The key fob for the new Accord. Leather wrap steering wheel and shift knob is only on the hybrid. Large cup holders and more or less an area that you can put another key fob. It's going to be soft for your elbows, open up inside, and it is a deep storage pocket with a 12 volt to complement it. The dashboard and the door panels integrate together. Because this is the EX, 8 speakers and 180 watts. Standard for the LX is 4 speakers, 160 watts. Everyday materials, more soft drive, pretty much to touch, except for here, it's gonna be sporty. 1 touch up and down for your front windows, a decent sized storage pocket, and 1 beverage or bottle holder. Because this is the EX, you also get heated front seats, and the seats have been redesigned for a firmly support. And another neat thing is when you get the EX, this is lockable. The LX is not. 1 touch moonroof comes standard on the EX. The LX will not receive it. Blind spot monitoring with cross traffic monitoring comes with the EX, but not the LX. Put this armrest down so it's a little bit more comfortable. Headroom, 37.3 inches, which is about 0.1 more than the prior gen. Leg space at 40.8 inches, which is almost 0.5 inches more than the prior gen. The door panel strips out a lot of the materials in the front, so it's all harder materials. You get a little bit of a soft material, but it's still firm for your elbows. Kind of a storage pocket for the grab handle, and another storage pocket more or less that you could fit a beverage holder. No air vents in the back, no charging ports, storage only behind the passenger seat. Even though it's not that much headroom, it still makes a difference for tall people. Every inch helps, and I can fit without any issues. If I kind of scoot down a bit, leg space, not an issue. I will be sharing feet, butt, and shoulder space, but it's really not that bad because it's a wider track by nearly 6 inches, which makes the interior have more room. It's really the seat design that puts us close together. So this year is a very big deal for Honda Accord fans. No more 2.0 turbo, which was 252 horsepower, 273 pound-feet of torque. It was crazy numbers what that thing would do. Unfortunately, the only thing that we get from last year is a 1.5 i4 turbo, 192 horsepower with 192 pound-feet of torque. No more 10-speed automatic transmission, all CVT transmissions. The interior is going to have a nicer design, more modern. I like this setup better than the Toyota Camry because I feel it's a little dated, especially the seat design. Here, it's actually a little bit more settled. It feels luxurious, even at a more towards base trim. The EX does get some goodies. I would recommend that over the LX because you're not gonna get the dual climate control. You're not gonna get anything really. They don't even have a locking glove box on the passenger side, which is kind of funny because a lot of you reviewers don't even talk about these things. Let's look how she goes. Once it finds a happy medium with the ratio, it really engages, but it takes more of a 3 RPM for it to be livened up. As for the seat comfort, it's wider. It does feel a lot better than the prior gen. I felt like it was a little small for the size of the vehicle. We've only gained about 0.5 inches from the last gen in length, so giving us more head, more leg space, and better seat design, it just is definitely a plus. You also get 10-way power seat adjustment standard on the EX and heated front seats. So putting it into the S, I'm gonna give her a little go. I would say it feels better because it holds the ratio. So if you just drive it normal, it's gonna change around 4. If you put it into the S, you can actually escalate that RPM a lot more. Now that's gonna take me to some things I like and dislike, and that's what we're gonna start talking about, is what I like about the all-new Honda Accord. the seats. I have to say they actually nailed it. The design, the comfort to it, whether you're in the front or the back, you have more head and leg space than the prior gen. I mean, overall, for a long journey, they definitely did a good job. The second thing that I like is the retuned suspension. It's a lot smoother. Just on the disadvantage, or something that I dislike right off the bat, no more 2.0 turbo, which was crazy fast, in which people compared that even to a BMW 330i or the Kia K5, in which now we don't have that performance. The last thing that I like is the dash design layout. It's more grown up, but it's still sporty because of the mesh that goes across the whole dashboard. Obviously, it's the same as the CR-V, HR-V, and the Civic, and you're going to expect that because this is like a $30,000 vehicle. Don't expect it to be wildly different, but I like that they've changed it enough to be settled. The disadvantage is you still get a 7-inch screen. I'm fine with a 9-inch. I just think the 7-inch needs to be gone. 12.3-inch, you can really only get that in the hybrid trim, which is something I dislike. Also, the heads-up display, you can only get that on the touring hybrid with the Bose sound system. So there's a few things, because now you have to go by trim, it really pushes you up to a higher price point. The brakes, they still hold pretty good. And the turn radius. The good thing also about the new Honda Accord is they kept the sleek profile. So it's a slope window. A-pillars are pushed back and thin, so they keep the visibility there. Turn radius is about 2 lanes. Let's rock and roll in the S. The sound deadening has improved a lot from last year too. It is so quiet, even in the i4 Turbo. You expect it when you get into the hybrid trim because you're paying more money, and that's the new engine variant. The last thing that I dislike is everything is derived for the hybrid trim. Even if you get a base hybrid, that's really where everything starts. Your driving modes, you get interior leather, you'll get power seat adjustments, ventilated seats, heated rear seats. It just would be nice, even though this is the i4 Turbo, that we can option these packages. They do not offer that. Taking it back to the Toyota Camry, that is getting ready to have its full refresh also. So I'm kind of excited to see how the interior is going to look and the exterior, because they usually go real sporty and athletic, especially if you get the TRD, because you'll get that ground effect kit, the catback exhaust. It's a little bit more of a dynamic look. This is more of the sport-back European look, and that's exactly what they were going on for all of their trim lines of the refresh. The interior of this, though, is going to be, I just don't like the way Toyota has their infotainment. It really just kind of sits out on top, which this one comes out, but then it's a driver focus setup where this is open for the passenger. So this is more of a day in and day out use, whereas the Toyota right now, really the best thing that it got going for it is it has that V6 with over 300 horsepower, and you can get that with the TRD, and that's really going to just give you the Brembo brake setup, 2 pistons in the front, and you'll get it lowered, some suspension tuning, but that's it. They don't do anything to the engine. Another thing that makes the Honda Accord stand out a little bit more is this gauge cluster, in which if you use the adaptive cruise control, the lane keep assist, kind of like a semi-autonomous type of thing, it will show you the lines, the whole road, vehicles around you, similar to Tesla and vehicles that are a lot more money, or even in the 6 figures. You could buy your whole family new Accords for the price that you're getting out of this, and you're getting the same technology, more or less. Now, obviously, it doesn't go to the same extent. You're getting maybe 0.2 to 0.3 of a mile, and then you have to touch the steering wheel. You can watch the whole demonstration on my Instagram reels through Facebook and Instagram, so that way you can actually see that. I always put those type of tech things in there to just show you the difference in models and vehicles. But this is definitely taking it to the next level beyond Toyota, because they don't offer this. Red light, we have it in S. We're gonna really see what this 192 i4 Turbo can do. And here we go. Well, I mean, we definitely beat anyone that wasn't racing us so it can get you to point A to point B without any issues. And for blind spots, I mean, you really don't have hardly any. Honda has carved out every single thing and made all the pillars as sleek as possible to make sure there's absolutely no safety issues for blind spot monitoring, lane keep assist, or even using your adaptive cruise control. I'd like to thank Ocean Honda for giving us this 2023 Honda Accord for our car review. If you're already a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Hawkeye community. If not, I don't know what you're waiting for. Click the next video and the subscribe button. Check out the merchandise, website, Instagram. Leave a comment and a like.